You probably read the title of this video and you're wondering, what game was so good that he claims that it changed his life? Or I'm going to put it in the thumbnail and you will already know. And in this case, then this entire intro is useless, but allow me to set the mood. One day, you are in the garage with your father and you're looking for some ancient Mesopotamian farming tool that you're not even sure if it's real or not. And you didn't even find it in the end, so it doesn't even matter. But while looking, you found something way cooler. You see a box in that crummy old garage, and it says video games on it. And I'm like, video games? What kind of video games does my dad have? My dad's like fucking 80, bro. What the fuck could it be? But in that box, you find a bunch of old consoles, and most of them didn't even work when you plugged them in, and you got really sad. But one of them did work, the N64. And you found a bunch of games for that old N64. You found GoldenEye 007. You found Silent Hill 2. A couple more filler games. I remember this one really shitty Star Wars game where you're playing in an X-Wing. But the best of them all, you found a copy of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Alright, so boom. The game starts pretty slow. You're just in the forest, and you're just gonna learn how everything works. You're not a hero yet. You're not special yet. You're just some random kid in a forest who doesn't even belong there. Everyone has a fairy except you. You're smaller than everyone. You're weaker than everyone. And even the NPCs kind of treat you like you're behind. They kind of talk to you like you're slow, you know? And then the Deku Tree tells you that you're important. Not because you're strong, but because you're willing. And that's the first thing the game does right. It doesn't make you cool. It makes you like curious, and it gives you a purpose. And then when you finally do leave the forest, the music changes, the camera pulls back, and suddenly the world is massive. Hyrule Field isn't filled with stuff, it's filled with space. And that was just cool to me because I didn't think this shitty N64 that hasn't been turned on in like 30 years could even do that. You could go like anywhere, but you could also get lost and you can mess up. And I did that a lot. And you could run into enemies way stronger than you. And that balance of freedom and fear is the whole game for me. And then there's the main villain, Ganondorf. Ganondorf isn't just evil guy. He's watching you the whole time. And you don't beat him early. You actually help him without even realizing it. You open all the doors. You pull the Master Sword. And by trying to do the right thing, you make everything worse. And that part made me really mad because modern story games, they don't really do that. They just kind of drag out the story for a really long time, and in the end, you beat them. And that's how it is. You know, most games tell you, you do the quest and everything good will happen. But Ocarina says, no, sometimes you don't know what you're doing yet. And then the moment comes, you pull the Master Sword, and 7 years later, you wake up as a grown man. And the world is fried. Like the castle town is dead. Enemies are everywhere. People you met are gone or like traumatized and shit. And the game doesn't even explain it to you. It just lets you walk around and just like, and it's like, hey, shitface, look at what you did. And this is where the story actually hits. You don't feel powerful. You just feel like damn, bro, I'm sorry. Like I was trying to help, That's how it is. And then we got all the temples. And I like all the temples because they're like unique and stuff. They all felt like their own, like, not different game, but they all felt like really unique, The Forest Temple feels empty, like something that used to be alive. The Shadow Temple, that shit is just straight up creepy, man. The Spear Temple forces you to go back and forth between being a kid and an adult. And the game follows that like contrast a lot, like kid you and an adult you. Like the game is like reminding you, like you don't get to stay one forever. And none of it feels random. It all reinforces the idea that time changes things and whether you want it or not. And then the ending. At the end, you win. You save Hyrule and you beat Ganondorf. As a kid, I was really mad at the ending. Zelda sends you back. And it sounds nice, I guess. For me, it never did. I was pretty mad because, like, I did all that for, like, what, bro? The adult world you saved, it continues without you. And the relationships you built, they don't exist anymore. And only you remember them. And that's the ending. It's just like no victory lap. There's no perfect resolution. Just acceptance. So that's the game, and I liked it a lot. It isn't my favorite of all time, but it's the one that stuck with me the most. And you probably clicked on this video for the title. You probably expected me to give some like really like deep explanation about how like it changed my brain chemistry and how like I became a better person because of it. I started working out. I got an 8-pack now, and not really. I think Ocarina of Time hit me because it doesn't lie to you. It doesn't say like everything works out. It says that some things change, some things are lost, and sometimes all is lost, and you still just move forward. And that's the lesson. It's not be brave, not save the world. Just do what you can, accept what you can't undo, and keep going. Another lesson that this game quietly teaches that I picked up on is loss. You can't save everyone. You can't go back and fix everything. Some damage stays. Even when you win, even when Ganondorf is defeated, the ending isn't perfect. Zelda sends you all the way back. Everything that you have in that future, everything that you worked hard to achieve, every person that you love, every person that you ever laughed with, you're gone. Like you are not a part of that timeline no more. The future you fought for continues without you. And that hit me hard as I got older because that's real. Sometimes growth means letting go of versions of yourself or people or moments, and they don't come with you into the next chapter. And that's not failure, that's life. It also made me think about who we are at different points in our lives. Child Link and Adult Link are the same person, but they don't live the same life because they can't. And that taught me something important. You don't lose yourself when you grow up, you just change context. The kid you were still exists, but he doesn't get to make every decision no more. You get older, you get responsibilities, there's more pressure. Maybe not in the same context of Link, because like the whole world's on your shoulder, the world's gonna be fucking over if you don't do anything. It's not really the same as waking up at 6 a.m. every morning, going to the office, but still. And that's why I say with me. I didn't realize it back then, but this gave me a framework of understanding of change and all that stuff I just mentioned before I had words for it. It taught me that, growing up isn't optional, responsibility is often quiet, that loss doesn't invalidate effort, that courage can exist alongside fear, and that moving forward doesn't mean forgetting who you were. And that's a lot, a game to teach without ever sitting down and explaining it. It just fed it to you and it lets you process it and it let you feel it. I've seen the newer Zelda games. They're cool, they're bigger, they're smoother, but I don't think none of them will ever replicate the same feeling as Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time didn't just tell a story. It let me experience change before I even knew what change was. And that's why I liked it so much.